sorry, Ted was having to stretch it out a little bit because I got stuck in traffic. It is really awful out there. I mean, seriously. That's a really terrible joke, is what that is. And but for a second there, I had you. You all were getting. You didn't know whether I was kidding or not. And such is the state of our roads. Such is the state of roads in a wildly successful state, and it's hard to apologize for that if you want to know the truth of the matter. When people do talk about the roads being a parking lot, I-35 being a parking lot out there at time to time. Our population continues to grow by more than 1,000 people a day, and looking for jobs is what those folks are doing. Individuals who are chasing their share of the American dream in a state that is making those dreams more attainable. And it's not just people who are picking Texas as their new home either. Our business climate continues to attract employers, large and small, seeking to relocate or to expand. Just a week or so ago, we got the news that Borusan Morrisman, that is a Turkish tubular steel manufacturing company, would be building its first U.S. factory right here in Texas. Baytown will be the home to that facility. There's some 250 jobs, Jeff, and $148 million in capital investment. I think less than 60 days ago, we had the announcement in Matagorda County of a $1.3 billion facility that's going to be built there by an Argentine steel manufacturing facility. 600 people employed there, $66,000, the average salary of that facility in a county that has approximately 27,000 total population. I mean, it's just some fascinating announcements that are being in College Station. Ted and I were talking about that the GlaxoSmithKline announced a $91 million facility that's going to be built to develop vaccines that have the ability to change the world from either a global pandemic point of view or to protect our soldiers and our citizens against terroristic type threats. I mean, it is a fascinating state to live, and the stories that are coming fast and furious about the companies that want to live here in pursuit of excellence and innovation. And if you've been in town just the last few days, and you know anybody that's in the technology world, you probably heard that Google had chosen Austin, Texas as the place to expand Google Fiber, that 1 gig service that's going to bring super high-speed internet, and that just adds to the whole competitive nature of the storyline that is coming out of Texas. You know, you combine the digital infrastructure that's already here with providers like AT&T and Grande and Time Warner, and it affirms that Central Texas is the most logical location for startups and research firms who are going to want to grow and thrive. You know, Facebook, EA Sports, Samsung, Apple, they are not going to stop coming to Texas anytime soon. As long as we remain competitive and we keep fiscally conservative policies in place, they're going to continue to come to a state that offers that type of an environment. Our low taxes, our reasonable regulatory climate, our legal system that doesn't allow for oversuing, the world-class workforce that's been developed here over the course of the last decade, that's a big part of what Texas is really all about. And I'll be honest, I can't see us changing that basic formula anytime in the foreseeable future. Our efforts to support the new generation of entrepreneur through programs like the Texas Emerging Technology Fund have further diversified our economy, and it's captured the attention of publications and broadcasters as the gold standard of places to do business, just as Ted read off that pretty substantial list. That in turn attracts the attention of CEOs and industry decision makers from across our country, many in high-tax, high-regulation states like California and Illinois, who are already looking for a better location of which to do business. So Texas is blessed with an abundance of interest and an abundance of people. The results of that blessing can be found jammed into our highways during rush hour. Probably in about an hour and a half on a Friday afternoon, right out here behind us is going to be a real clear example of that. Every hour that's stuck in traffic is an hour that's missed away from families, away from a productive pursuit. And congested roads are really only a part of the problem. When you think, or congested roads right here in Central Texas, when you think about what's happening across the state, when you go to South Texas, in that area that's impacted by the Eagle Ford, you go to that Fort Worth, south of Fort Worth area that is impacted by the Barnett Shale, over into East Texas where the Haynesville Formation. You see that very thriving industry, which is employing thousands of people in our state, putting a real strain on the roads in those regions, and roads that simply were not built for that type of industry. So again, as we celebrate our success, we have to take steps to ensure that we can sustain our success. We don't want to become another example of the wildly successful restaurant that Yogi Berra talked about when he said that nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded. You'll catch that in a minute, Ted. We are at a crossroads in Texas, and we've arrived at a moment of great possibility in our state's history. Our booming economy has left us with a solid financial foundation upon which to build sound infrastructure for the next half century. The fragile nature of our nation's economy has resulted in historically low interest rates, and nobody believes that they can go on indefinitely. Jeff, you're a banker. You know that the idea that we're going to have these interest rates at this low level for a long period of time in the future is just not reality. In fact, we all have to prepare for what we know is going to happen, and that is the very real possibility that interest rates are going to skyrocket. Because Texas has been so vigilant in our stance against unnecessary spending, and because we have kept our debt to a minimum, we are in a unique position. We can take advantage of these historically low interest rates and use long-term bonds to capitalize on ongoing revolving infrastructure fund. This will enable us to avoid the high interest rates that are almost certainly coming soon and begin projects now, because the price of construction takes, or I should say before the price of construction takes another major leap forward. In essence, we can lock in these projects at interest rates and construction cost of today, when the cost of both are significantly cheaper than they will be in the very near future. This isn't a matter of choice anymore either. We have to take on this challenge of transportation infrastructure much more aggressively than we have in the past. Over the years, we've come up with solutions and we've solved individual transportation challenges in a variety of ways, but we have to think bigger. That's why during my State of the State address, I called for utilizing money from the Rainy Day Fund for a one-time investment of billions of dollars into infrastructure programs. I also called for an end to those diversions of our State Highway Fund, which could mean billions of dollars more for road maintenance and construction. We're making progress in these initiatives. Talks are ongoing. The members of the legislature are being very open and understanding of the challenges that we have as a state. We have to continue to think outside the box, however. Consider new ways to fund transportation. For example, on every car or truck sold in the state of Texas, we take in sales tax. With the rapid growth of our population and our healthy economy, the amount we take in on those sales are increasing steadily. I propose that we dedicate the future growth in sales tax collected on motor vehicles to transportation infrastructure. Now's the time. It's not a new tax, and it's not a new fee. The sales tax would remain the same, and the money would still be collected. Either way, what this will do is take a portion of future sales tax collected on motor vehicles, dedicate it to a more productive, efficient experience for the people buying those cars in the first place. We need to find a big solution to our transportation challenges. And I happen to think now is the time. By using strategic debt management, enhancing the existing infrastructure fund, ending the highway fund diversions, investing rainy day fund monies, and with the future sales tax collections, Texas would be able to capitalize more than $41 billion of transportation projects over the next 20 years. That should be enough to take care of the major improvements that we need in this state. Keep traffic flowing in the Lone Star State for several decades at least. You know as well as I do that strengthening our infrastructure will improve the flow of goods throughout our state. It'll reduce the wear and tear on vehicles, on both personal vehicles and business vehicles, and improve our quality of life to a degree you really can't measure in dollars and cents. It's also very important to remember that a big part of convincing employers to come to Texas is convincing them that we're going to have adequate electricity, we're going to have adequate water and transportation infrastructure to fit their needs. Now is the time to make sure that that is a reality. Now is the time to do the fiscally responsible thing and make our state more accessible, more productive, and more inviting to employers from all around the globe. God bless you, and thank you all for allowing me to come and speak today.